Trev, we're here to talk about cold plunging, specifically from your experience. Take me through, though. You've been doing it consistently for about a year and a bit now.
That's right.
Take me through that first experience. Like, how'd you get into it?
We actually did it was like a Navy SEALs challenge day where we it was January 2nd, and there was 8 of us. We cut a hole in the lake at Al's place on Wanapate, and we do 2 minutes in the water, followed by 10 minutes out of the water, doing either body squats, push-ups, something to get your heart rate up and warm up, and then back in. So we did 5 rounds of that.
Jeez. Why did you opt to do that? Just like a challenge, or because you easily could have just not done it and been busy that day?
Yeah.
So why?
When I got challenged at it, I realized that I really don't like cold, and I needed to face that.
As you're kind of going through that, take me through what that first kind of experience was like.
It was hell.
Yeah?
It was hell.
Not fun, eh?
No, the thing that kept running through my head was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like this.
Okay. Now, what was it? Was it just like the pain of it? Like just describe the cold?
The pain, the uncomfort. I think that's the biggest part was the uncomfort.
Yeah.
Because in your head, all you're thinking is, I want to get out. I'm uncomfortable. I'm cold.
Yeah.
This isn't good. You're
Okay.
panic mode almost, right?
Yeah. Like an inability to breathe, or like does your body tighten up? Yeah.
Tighten up, exactly.
Oof. Okay. Does it hurt at all? Like when you were first kind of like getting into it, did it hurt? Like it hurt your skin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's not a hurt that stays though, because once you're out of the water, the pain's gone.
Yeah.
And it's not like an intense pain.
Okay. That's not too bad though. That doesn't. Yeah. So it sounds kind of just during. It's not ideal. And it's a bit more uncomfortable, but yeah. Okay. When did you do it second? Like when was the second time that you had ever cold plunged or done any cold exposure after that day?
So
what was that next?
After that day, it took me a couple weeks of me mulling the idea of continuing to do it because I hated it.
Yeah.
But realizing I needed to challenge myself more, I started looking at, because I don't have access to a lake, I'm like, I'm going to have to either start looking at a tank or something like that and do it at home. So it was probably about close to a month after.
Nice. Okay. Why did you, because some people would look at that, and I'm sure some people would do something like that and go, yeah, this is something I don't want to do again, and then opt to do that. What in your brain told you that, okay, this is something I gotta, was it just the amount of discomfort you felt and you're like, I can't feel like that again?
Exactly. Yeah, and like with my job, like you can't have that hesitation or that doubt.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta kind of go for it.
Okay. Interesting. So once you were able to get the setup and kind of start prepping everything, how much did it kind of cost for you to get started without the lake?
It wasn't too bad actually. So I bought a stock tank from Princess Auto for I think it was under $200, and I bought a Mastercraft utility pump for $60, so under $300. And I would run the sump pump when it would get 20 below, and on the other days, like if it was warmer than that, I would just break the ice.
Nice. So in the beginning, how consistent would you say you were?
When I first bought it, I did probably once every 3 days, and then after my first week, it was every day, every night.
Okay, so after that first bit of time, once you got into doing it every night and you had all the gear, when was the first time you started noticing any benefits from doing it?
Pretty instantly, like in regards to like inflammation of the body, like back, shoulders, soreness, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, and then I would actually do it before bed, which is kind of contrary to what they say to get the benefits from, but I slept a lot better.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about doing it before bed. It's like I knew my brain would be calm, way less anxiety, if any at all, and then your body's able to kind of shut down. Why do they say the opposite though?
It's your hormones. It jacks your hormones up,
okay.
and
so it jacks up your hormones.
Another reason why I did it before bed was like a lot of it was like mental, so I wanted to challenge myself. So like at the end of the day, I'm at my weakest. I'm tired. I'd rather play on my phone than have to do 100%. Something hard.
So you noticed it right away, physically and stuff, and being able to kind of like just push yourself to get over that hump before the end of the day. You know, it jacking up your hormones and stuff like that. Having done it and immediately not enjoyed it, and knowing that it was uncomfortable, and then challenging yourself and stuff like that from the beginning, Take me through what is your favorite part about it now that you've had about a year worth of doing it pretty consistently, I'd say. And because I think I do it consistently and you do it more than I do.
Yeah.
So I'd say you do. So as consistently as you do it, what's been your favorite part about it so far?
Probably when I do it with my friends.
Yeah.
Is probably the best part. Because like when you do anything by yourself, it's good to be strict and be honest with your regiment. But when you do it with other people and you suffer together, there's a different element it brings to the table where you feel a better sense of accomplishment. And
yeah. Do you find it helps you get through it a bit easier and stuff?
way easier. Because if I'm by myself, I could try to talk myself out of it. It's like, no, I'll go before the buzzer goes.
Yeah. Okay, so stock tank $180, Mastercraft sump pump $60, friends to do it with
Priceless.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, that's good to know. Oh man, yeah, because I don't think I could pick those up at Princess Auto. So what's been your least favorite part about doing it so far, though, consistently? Like now that you've gotten obviously over the first hump, of course, but now that you've gotten into a space where you're like doing it consistently, you've challenged yourself, you do it with friends. What's still like that one thing that you're just like, that gives you a bit of anxiety before doing it?
It's the anxiety before doing it.
Yeah,
it's
it is, eh?
If I'm pulling up to the lake or I'm just about to go in, I have this self-talk where I'm like, you don't have to do this. Your mind's like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, but I told myself I was going to do it, so I got to live with that. And I've done it where I've turned the truck around and said, no, I'm not going to do it for the day. Whoa. And then I beat myself up all day. And
then you do it at night.
And then I do it at night.
Nice.
It's like, I felt horrible because it went against my commitment.
How would you advise somebody to get over that?
Just do it. Don't negotiate with yourself.
Don't negotiate with yourself.
And you got to think, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? If I'm going to go in the water for 2 minutes, you're not going to go hypothermic.
No.
You're not going to lose your feet or your fingers.
Not long enough at all, yeah.
You're going to be uncomfortable. Absolutely.
And it can only be so cold, the water, yeah.
0 degrees. Freezes, right? So, yeah.
It's not that cold.
Right.
Okay. I like that. And I've actually seen you, I'm fortunate enough to see you coach people kind of through the beginning of doing it. And like even myself, like challenging, like, hey man, I go up to your neck this time. Don't just go to your upper chest. Like go, like get those extra 5-6 inches, go a bit deeper in the water and let everything kind of like all hands and arms. Because I'll usually go where I'm like here and it's like right under my armpits. But you're like, no, man, go up, get everything under, keep your head above. So that's how you'd advise somebody, is you just kind of tell them to like don't negotiate with themselves, or do you have anything like talk them through it? Like what if they're in and they're already started? And
progress. Like like your first time, if you can only do 15 seconds, do 15 seconds. But if you're going to commit to a minute, stay for the whole minute.
Commit to the minute.
And always talk to yourself like and think nothing bad's going to happen from this. Only good things, only good health benefits.
Right.
And at some point that 15 seconds, this is easy. I could do 30 seconds. It's just human nature to progress, right?
Of course.
So, and even like yourself, like going from like your shoulders and then you went up to your neck, like you're like, okay, well, this is comfortable. I'm doing this for a bit. You push that extra bit. It's like, oh, it still sucks, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And there's different levels to that progression, I think, as well. And
absolutely.
Seeing, like, even you will run in. For context, people don't realize it's like when we all go and we all start slowly walking in, like walking on eggshells, even though the ground's flat, and we walk all the way up, and you're just beelining it into the water with no end in sight. Dive in, hop up, and it's like, okay, now it's time. Do you think that's like the best way to go about it? Like, why do you approach it that way, where you just go in full and you don't like slowly let your body get used to it as you go? Like, you don't gradually go into it.
No.
You just send it fully, eh?
Yeah.
Why is that your approach?
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna suck anyways.
Get it over with.
And you might as well run towards it, because I find walking in is actually more painful, because you're kind of you're tippy-toeing in. You're okay. My knees are cold. All right, it's going up past my waist. Okay, it's getting colder. If you just run and dive in, the hardest part's done.
Yeah. It's done right away. It's done quick.
Yeah.
I think what's cool, too, about what you've been doing and what you managed to do is you've set a great example.
Oh, thanks, man.
For us to kind of... Because we'll talk when we're like... People don't know is we have a group chat of people who do this or who have ever once expressed interest. Bless their soul. So you will put just, we doing it? And I could hear I could hear all of our internal thoughts as we're reading it. Like there are times I'll commit right away. Like if I see it and I don't commit right away, I probably won't do it. But then if I see it and I commit right away, I'll look back at it 2 hours later and be like, I'm not going to go. And then I'll be, no, I committed to it. Crap. Okay. So so I think people need to know that as an example, we appreciate that. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool to set. It's a cool thing that you're doing and steamrolling that initiative and trying to get everybody to do it and seeing you do it and having the evidence it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to see and to see the consistency and how everything's grown from you just not enjoying it to now you don't enjoy it, but now there's just like, nah, here we are. You do it and you're able to kind of take your experiences and you coach people into that. It's cool. It's really cool.
Thanks, man. Another thing with that too, like it's a great that you bring that up, is that like if you're thinking about doing it by yourself, like challenge someone. You challenge your friend and say, let's do this, like and get your support system.
That's smart.
And make it accountable. If you got no kids or you got a wife, say, okay, honey, watch me while I do this, or make sure I do this because I want to do this.
Yeah,
get your kids involved, get friends, challenge people, and it's like we do it. It's not hard. It's a couple minutes. It's a group chat. It's not it's not a big time commitment.
Yeah. No, when you think about it, no, I'll look and I'm like, it's like, no, usually it's about 20 to 25 minutes tops, unless we drag it out to hang out and stuff. But most of the time on like short 20 minutes. Some people, if you have to leave, just do it and go. Yeah, it's
and the idea of not suffering in silence, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like talking about like mental health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why not suffer with your friends?
How has it affected your mental health in your everyday life?
My mental game's on point now.
Yeah?
I know exactly what my body can and can't do, what I'm scared of, what I'm not scared of.
Oh.
And it's, like, dialed in.
Do you find it easier to talk yourself into things?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and, like, stay committed?
Less negotiating with myself. If I commit to something, I'm going to do it.
Nice.
Yeah. That's good. And me, a year ago, probably would have, like, hemmed and hawed and tiptoed around it and maybe not done it.
Negotiated and stuff.
Exactly. And you don't negotiate with terrorism.
Okay. Yeah. Don't negotiate with terrorism. Don't negotiate with yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I join the group chat. Commit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you see it, you can kind of figure out what time works for you, make it a priority, and try to.
Yeah, and like whenever you can do it, either be in the morning before work or at night after work or in the afternoon. Like, there you can get all the benefits whenever you do it. Just do it.
And I think doing it. You touched on an interesting point there too, Trevor. Was doing it with people.
Yeah.
Like having somebody at least supervise or be there with you. Like you don't have to force your girlfriend or your wife or dog or kid to jump in with you. If that's something that you want to challenge them with and they like express interest, great, different story. But if not, just like, hey honey, I need you to start this timer and don't let me get out until 3 minutes.
And coach me through it, right? Mm-hmm. And there's different kind of like ideas behind that too. It's like, I like the go for it, run for it, be angry at it, like yell if you have to. Like a lot of like stuff you see on Instagram and stuff like that. People are in there and they're shivering. They're just like, oh, I'm cold. You jump in and you like let a good yell. It's like you're going for a fight or something. You're priming your body to do that. Then it's like then you can relax.
Yeah, it makes it a bit easier. You've gotten to that point. Yeah, exactly. You're right. You can calm down after. It makes it a bit, makes it whatever it takes to make it a bit easier and more of a positive process.
Just to get into that zone. And then once you're in the zone, it's like, I'm here. I don't have to be angry no more.
What do you think, Trevor, is a good bare minimum to do and a good like limit of like okay? Because I know they talk about 11 minutes being like the standard for in a week. If you get 11 minutes of like very extreme cold exposure, then that's kind of like you check that off. Now you can have like long-term positive effects in your life, like anti-aging type benefits and stuff like that in your life. Take us through kind of like what's a minimum you would recommend and what's a maximum you'd recommend for time in like one outing.
Right. So not your first time, just as you're being more consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say 2 to 3 minutes would probably be a good goal to set.
Nice.
And then maximum, listen to your body.
Like
if you're getting out and your feet are burning for an hour after, you probably went in too long.
Yeah, maybe tone it down. That's happened to me when we've done 5 minutes up to in the minus 22s, and we're like, all right, we're up to our next for 5 minutes in freezing cold water. Yeah, I'm like, it took me 2 hours for my feet to start to.
Yeah, interesting about that though. If you do like anything, like a slow progression.
Yeah.
you're not going to get that. So if you would have done like 2 minutes for a couple weeks, then like 2 minutes and 10 seconds in slow increments, it would, I think by end of March, I think I was almost up to like 10 minutes. Jeez. But like, it's like everything is progression. It's not, it's not an overnight thing. It's not your first time. It's
that's
not,
really consistent for over a year. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Jeez. Yeah, and you can grow from there, and you can progress, and you can make sure that everything you're doing is kind of leading you in the best direction to get the most of it, right, and maximize that.
100%.
So, what's we kind of talked about this, but just to come full circle, what does step one look like? If somebody was to come to you and was like, "Hey, Trevor, I saw this, I listened to this, I watched this, I want to know what's the best." Where could I start? I want to do it. I'm interested. How would you take them to step one?
Depending on the time of year, but start off at a public beach or lake.
Go to the lake.
Yeah. Have your buddy system. Make sure someone's with you.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, like, and even like stock tanks, you don't have to get a stock tank. I got guys at work that are doing, you know, those big rolling recycling bins.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
So no way. Cost savings there too. So there's all kinds of options. Even cold showers.
Cold showers. I was gonna say,
cold showers is a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure on getting all the benefits from cold showers, but
no.
You're going to get some for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Because it's going to engage that fight or flight response where it's like, I'm cold, I got to stop, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, right on. Now, kind of to encompass everything, do you have a final, message or point or story thing you want to hit home with to kind of bring together and summarize everything we talked about today?
I can say some stuff, but I don't want to say bad words. Semantics. I think the best way to do it is, or the best approach or thing to think or to take home is, if you're going to do something like this, just commit to it and do it. Mm-hmm. And you'll feel better just knowing that you committed and you completed it. There's a sense of like, I own it now. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be my best thing. If you're thinking about doing it, do it.